Business atmosphere has changed over the years. The gaps between organizations are narrowing and becoming more competitive. Organizational leaders are under constant pressure to produce results for stakeholders and increase performance output from their employees. This can be challenging as generation of employees are rapidly changing. The new generation of employees may not respond as well to traditional styles of leadership. In traditional leadership, the leaders are the focal point. This style has allowed the leader to set the tone and culture while employees simply do what they're told. Conflict between leaders and employees are under continual stress due to lack of communication, clarity of goals, and employee well-being. The growth of employees can be slow as much of the development is structured around the leaders themselves. While this approach may have had its place within organizations, it is becoming outdated and other methods may be more effective. In the 1970s, Robert K. Greenleaf understood there was a growing disconnect between leadership and employees. Conflict was rising. The well-being of and empowerment of employees was a growing concern, and leaders were struggling to understand how to get more from its workforce. Greenleaf wrote an essay titled The Servant Leader. Through his research, he discovered an alternative way to lead employees by fostering an environment built around trust, accountability, growth, and inclusion within the workplace. This essay sparked a new form of leadership that is called the servant leader. Its premise is centered around the following concepts. One, the leader must be a servant first. This is focused on the leader's core belief of wanting to serve. Two, the leader ensures the top priority of needs of others employees are being met. Three, success is defined when employees become healthier, liberated, and more engaged. As a result, ultimately becoming servants themselves. Four, a servant can only become a leader if a leader remains a servant.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Morgan, and I will be discussing the pros of servant leadership. There are several pros to servant leadership. Five of them are stronger teams, employee motivation, an alignment with personal and professional goals, a conducive working environment, and a decrease in employee turnover. Stronger teams. The servant leader serves the team, and in return, he or she gains their respect. When there is respect, the team is more productive, which leads to harmony and a stronger team. Employee motivation. Servant leadership allows the team the freedom to create. Creativity lets the team find solutions that otherwise may have not been found with micromanagement. It motivates the team because everyone is able to participate and give their thoughts. An alignment of personal and professional goals. A servant leader will teach one how to connect the job to themselves. That connection leads to a worker looking at themselves and how they align to their position differently. As a result, personal and professional goals will be aligned with the job. A conducive working environment. A productive environment comes from the team of a servant leader, and everyone is at ease since it is not a competitive space. A decrease in employee turnover. Because team members are allowed freedom, creativity, and are achieving personal and professional growth, the overall space is positive, so there is less of a chance for them to want to work elsewhere.
Hi, my name is Bisma One, and today I will be talking about the cons of servant leadership. Based on my research, here are the cons that I've found of servant leaderships that include decision making challenges, time consumption, lack of structure, resistant to change, and organizational fit. Let's talk about decision making challenges. Servant leaders often involve team members in the decision making process. While this can enhance collaboration, it may also slow down the decision making process, especially in situations where quick and decisive action is required. When talking about time consuming, the emphasis on building relationships and addressing individuals' needs can be time consuming. In fast paced or high pressure environments, this approach may not always align with the need for quick results. Moving on to the lack of structure. Servant leadership may lack the structure and clear hierarchy that some organizations need for stability and order. This can result in confusion or ambiguity, especially in large or more complex organizations. A con that comes with resistance to change is when introducing a servant leadership style may face resistance from individuals who are accustomed to more traditional or autocratic leadership approaches. Employees and leaders may need time to adapt to this shift in leadership philosophy. Finally, organizational fit can be a con when servant leadership may not be suitable to all forms of businesses. In other organizations, having a direct or authoritative leadership style may be necessary for efficiency and effectiveness. Here are some examples in servant leadership. Motivate your team, professional care about your team, having excellent communication skills, professionally being committed on growing the team, and encouraging the team to engage and collaborate.
How does servant leadership affect performance? These type of leaders put the needs of their group and company first. They do not put their own goals first. Workers are more likely to feel heard when they work in a setting that practices servant leadership. According to the cited article by Better Up, they stated that this makes workers 4.6 times more likely to work to the best of their abilities. Servant leadership has gained popularity in recent years as a useful strategy for raising team effectiveness levels in the workplace. Doctors Justin Irving and Gail Longbotham conducted a study titled Team Effectiveness and Six Essential Servant Leadership Themes. To better understand how to apply servant leadership to our teams, according to their research, leaders who practice servant leadership followed these top themes to their work group in order to have a better effectiveness within their performance. Here are the top essential themes: providing accountability, supporting and resourcing, communicating with clarity, and valuing and appreciating. Providing accountability. Accountability is making sure every team member is achieving the objectives set forth by the group. Accountability is a skill that many leaders are expected to understand, but is often overlooked during onboarding and training sequences. Communication is one of the key factors in accountability. Supporting and resourcing. This theme emphasizes how crucial it is for managers to encourage their staff members and supply the tools they need to reach their objectives. One of the key elements of this theme is empowerment. When employees feel uncomfortable or scared about making decisions on their own to fulfill their responsibilities because they are concerned about their supervisor's reactions, this theme comes into play to help them. Communicating with clarity. When analyzing team dynamics, the most often mentioned skill that requires improvement is communication. Although it is the simplest to recognize as a skill that needs work, communication is also typically the most difficult to develop. Communicating with clarity encourages the servant leadership to structurally find out if people understand the message that they are sending, so there's no mishaps or misunderstanding when communication. Valuing and appreciating. Everyone wants to feel they are being valued and appreciated, so it is important to incorporate these things when running a successful servant leadership style. Laub suggests that building up others through encouragement and affirmation is one of the primary means by which servant leaders can develop people. One way to let your staff know how much they mean to the team's success is to send them a thank you email or a personalized note outlining the work that they did and how it benefited the team.